of the first 4-5 minutes of this game. A little bit cagey. Two teams are just testing themselves out just a little bit. We've seen one or two threats from Plateau United, and well cooked by Olonoleke Ojo, goalkeeper. And this guy is a fantastic footballer, Enyimba, but I absolutely love his foray down the left. From his time in Plateau United to the time we saw him last time out at the Confederations Cup, he gave a very good account of himself. And those are the players you want in your team, players that you are sure and certain that every game day they lace up their boots and they give you 75-85% of themselves on the football pitch. And that's what you want from your defenders, that's what you want from your footballers. Enyimba's got them all, you know. They've been very lucky to have some very best players over the years. And take nothing away from Plateau United as well. They've got some great players. Oche from last season, who was absolutely fantastic. They've got Charles Enlong, who is a totemic leader in their team as well. Zulkifilu is still very much in this part of this setup. He's that big man right there. You cannot miss him. He's always conspicuous.
The magic of Itodo's long throw. Has a chance to Plateau. It's whipped in. A referee waves on. That's a threatening moment for Enyimba. Elijah Akane. Oh, it's an intelligent flick on. The goalkeeper should come off his line. And he read it perfectly. That's before the Enyimba forward gets his presence.
You know, the goalkeeper right there backing orders, and he knows that he was exposed in that particular time. And not this early in the game. You want your defenders to be switched on every time, every ounce of the game, especially when you played a very big team. We saw it earlier in our featured broadcast where Plateau United, shot themselves in the foot, you know, by not taking the importance of concentration lightly. And right there is what the goalkeeper is trying to tell his lads, that, hey, we cannot do this. Not today, right now. I need you to be 100% switched up. And that goalkeeper right there just doing his best to make sure his lines are good. Fidelity Lechiku showing another side of his game. You know, maybe he was a goalkeeper in his playing days. That's if at all he had a football playing career. But I mean, take nothing away from him as a coach. He is MPFL royalty.
Oh. And we just enjoy the swift movement of play from Plateau United, and the fans are lapping it all up. That's almost a chance for Sunday Anthony. They had power, just the direction. But again, you look at it on replay, Jide. The goalkeeper Olonoleke Ojo had it pretty covered.
He had it pretty covered. There was no problems then. He saw no reason to just stain his very lovely black jersey, you know, for that particular one, and going down too early since you had it covered. You know, sometimes it's not working hard, it's working smart. There's no need going down when you are almost certain. You're never really certain in the game of football, but when you see that the chance is really not going to happen. A cagey game so far, as expected. 2017 champions, Plateau United, they were in the continent as well. Enyimba's been there, done that, so you expect every team that plays Enyimba to bring up their A game. Maybe this is the biggest fixture. Oh, there was a fixture in Egypt between Zamalek and Al Ahly. This right there is right up there in terms of quality of stars on parade.
It's difficult for him to swing in that cross. A sight of Mohamed Zulkifilu.
You're still wearing that funny jersey number 4, right? Is that attacker that loves to wear jersey number 4?
I mean, we've seen strikers put on the jersey number 1 outfit, so it's all about the attachments to these numbers.
Yeah. And Plateau United has got them all, haven't they? They've got a captain in Charles Enlong who wears jersey number 1. He's an outfit player wearing a number of a goalkeeper. You know, but just like you said, it's all about attachments now, isn't it? And we are attached to these two teams. If you like Nigerian football, you will be attached in terms of what they've achieved and what they've done and the quality of play they've shown lately. The two coaches, you can see them on our screen, they're already on the field because they don't need, you can't just afford to sit. You need to consistently back orders at your charges. Make sure they are right there. You are their second ear, even then, if you're like their third ear rather. even though they have their 2 years, you need to be in their head every time, backing out orders. You're like their 12th player.
It's the 3rd time he'll get the chance to whip in a throw with a taste of a corner kick. Daniel Itodo, captain of Plateau United. That's his trademark. A goal! It's a brilliant save from Maluru Joe. Oh, that could be one of the saves of the season, and it's just match day 3. What a save from Ocho. For 1 second, I thought that was going in.
Every cat in the world will be proud of that reflex save. He spread himself, he made himself look big, and the reflex was instinctive. I did mention the expert of this gentleman for Abia Warriors, and it's been crazy, the kind of ability that Itodo has with the throw. We've seen footballers develop that side of their skill. We've seen teams over the years develop just that part of their skill and be that go-to person. And Itodo is absolutely loved by the fans in Jos. Make no mistake about it, Emmanuel. Is whatever you think Rabiu Ali is in Kano, he's loved here in Jos. And that's why they love him. The fact that he throws that long balls right into it like an assist. So the second ball is important. And Enyimba has to watch that. Enyimba has to be careful of the second ball, because once they get that ball up in the air by Itodo, if Zulkefilu should get a touch on that ball, the next ball has got to be an Enyimba defender. But thankfully for them, Ojo Olorunleke and his Naira in that particular field.
That's a heavy clearance, but well defended. Emmanuel, he's partnered well with Chris Nweze. That's a corner kick to Enyimba. That's the first real chance for the People's Elephants off a set piece. Well, lesser in terms of personnel in the penalty box. Nweze's interception. Chapi Kato. Some bullish defending there from the People's Elephants. Sunday Anthony to Chris Nweze. Oh, some intelligent defending. Also might be some collision there from the Enyimba defenders. That's a bit of a concern for the fullback Imo Obots. Looks like it just might have pulled a hamstring. That's the forward player, Mbaoma. Yeah, just trying to match it off.
He shares a name with Victor Mboma. And Victor Mboma was indeed loved in this particular Enyimba colours. That's another striker, Mboma. I think he pulled an hamstring and it really will be missed in this particular game, but Enyimba has got some quality on the bench to come replace him. One Mboma leaves, another one arrives.
Yeah, Chikuma Mboma, the new recruits, just trying to, I'm not going to say tout the laces of Victor, because Victor was an entirely different beast altogether.
Victor was special. He has a big shoe to fill, and I'm sure he can fill it, given time and consistency. Victor Mboma was nicknamed the Vulture on the streets of Aba, just because of the sheer ability, the uncanny ability to find space and punish you. And just like vultures, they wait for you for the living carcass.
Giving away possession, Enyimba coming forward, seeking that breakaway. That was well done by the fullback. Well, you get the first sight, I'll take it off Dirk, but we saw him walk onto the touchline there, finish the charge. That challenge will be interesting between Itodo and Abubakar.
Two dreaded folks. And of course, Abubakar not happy with himself with how he finished that particular chance. We saw how disgruntled and angry his manager was, and he's still angry. Look at him. Affinity George is absolutely pacing and angry at this particular defender because he expected him to do more. And he's been a little bit more composed, and Fidelis Ilechukwu a little bit more put together. I won't say his team has been on the forefront or the front foot, but they look to be that team who is slowly progressing. And most of the time they get Enyimba at the back of their defending most of the time. It's 15 minutes so far, the Emmanuel team, and still no goal, yes, but we've seen that this game has got great potentials to be very beautiful.
Free kick to Plateau United. Chapi Kato and Sunday Anthony, players standing over the set piece for the Piss Boys. It's Anthony. That should be a foul against the Plateau United forward, Mahakmed Zukafilu. Also appealing, that shouldn't have been. Hand gestures, Finida George. That's in hindsight again, yeah. There was this clear as daylight just before that clearance. Zadego just trying to press the front tree. Itodo. Anthony. Confident exchange of passes. That's in the Plateau United midfielders. Hasn't been a perfect start for the Piss Boys this season. The first game, 3-0 score against Shooting Stars before that trip to Benin to suffer a 2-1 defeat to Insurance. Mustafa Abdullahi's penalty in the 90 plus 1 minutes consolatory. Scored a free kick to the dismay of Enyimba fullback Ima Obot. That's Anthony. There's it back to Fai Emmanuel. Man who got amongst the goals in the opening fixture here against Shooting Stars. Good piece of passing. Heavy launch, referee coming to the rescue. I said it was too much physicality from Christopher Mweze on Abubakar.
Mweze tried to just, unsettle Abubakar. Abubakar definitely would shoot the ball all day, every day. He would definitely want to get that particular chance to win a free kick in that very interesting position. We've seen a free kick like this, almost similar in the game against Akwa United. It was buried. And that's a substitution for Enyimba, coming in quite early as expected.
Yeah. Not able to carry on playing following that nudge. So it's a forced change for Enyimba Football Club. Chukwuemeka Obioma is the man who will be called upon. The free kick taken, headed out. He's got quite a number of goals last season, Chukwuemeka Obioma, for Enyimba International Football Club. 7. But none of those goals came against Plateau United. We're hoping to just turn the tide. There's a man who's got the very first for Enyimba this season. Kani Elijah. It was special just before Imo Ubud's well-taken set piece. Kani Elijah to take. Not a perfect one, but could have been aided by a Plateau United defender. Wasn't a comfortable clearance.
It's not a cross that Finidi George would have been very proud of, because I mean, as a number 7, as a winger during his days, he must have been teaching his lads, you know, on how to deliver a perfectly weighted cross. Maybe we'll see one better here. Plateau United just covering that ground and making it more extra, a little bit more difficult for Enyimba to get the quality balls in, unsettling the nerve, I should say.
Well, if they've got Itodo, Enyimba also possess. And Asuko, 20 minutes into the action. That's Plateau United 0, Enyimba International 0. Is expressionless. How do you assess the quality of play after 20 minutes, Jide?
KG. Both teams still trying to decide what it is they want to get from this first half. From an Enyimba standpoint, Finidi George, obviously, judging by his gesticulations on the touchline, he wants and deserves more from his players in terms of effort. But Plateau United have really been no slouch of a team now, are they? Because they've got some quality players in their ranks and making it extra difficult for Enyimba to play their game. Plateau United is literally twisting the arm of Enyimba to play their own game, and Enyimba has gotten an identity. And that's why you see that Finidi George, the coach, is currently not so happy because he felt that they've got some couple of half chances that his team could have done better with, and maybe could have led to the first goal for Enyimba. Maybe we could see a first goal for Plateau United in this particular position. We've seen some juicy free kicks here today so far in our featured broadcast.
Lovely kill, Joe. It's the goalkeeper with solid hands. Made 18 appearances last season. Successfully kept 6 clean sheets. But it was a season where they had to alternate between himself and Sabiru Basajeri.
This is not what Finidi George wants right now. This is not what Enyimba wants. They've already have to make a forced substitution earlier, taking off their striker for another one, Mboma for Emeka. The medical team arrives in good time to just attend to captain, who looks like a tough customer. He's one of those footballers who genuinely will not stay down unless there's something really bothering him. And it will be bothering Finidi George as well, because this would affect, already taking out Mboma already affects his game plan, right? And this could also further be more like a challenging phase. And that's not a broken tooth, is it? Okay, no, it's not. It's just trying to check and be sure. Hey, gentlemen, the teeth is still complete. It's trying to pay attention to it. But we're not really seeing a clear cut. The game is here to spark into life. We haven't seen a clear-cut chance by either of the teams. Both teams are still trying to, just be very, very conservative. Even as Olorunleke Ojo didn't do quite well with that free kick. If it continues like this, they know they've got some very genuinely creative players in the middle of the park. Especially this man on the turf right now, Kani Elijah, is a very, very intelligent footballer. He is very gifted. He is intelligent on the ball. He can whip in crosses on his good day. He can beat a man. He can pick out passes and thread a pass through the needle's eye. He can lead a counter-attack. He's a natural-born leader. He was the leader of the MFM team. Unfortunately, they got relegated, but you can see why he's playing for Enyimba now, because they know this man has got huge potentials. If under a coach like Finidi George is well tapped, it could be the next big thing in Nigerian football.
One now Soko with a free kick for Enyimba. Oh, it's brilliantly connected. It's the People's Elephants who take the lead here at the New Joe Stadium. Celebrations. Stunning opener here. The oppositions were left completely bamboozled. That's the Elephants who are stomping and thumping. Joyous moment has sparked the mild protestations. It's Plateau United 0, Enyimba International 1.
We've seen a free kick earlier today, but what a delivery by Unwana. What a delivery. And the big man rising on top of it. And he reels off in jubilation. What a goal. We saw a free kick earlier today, well converted by Ndifeke Effiong, who is a centre forward. But this right there is a delivery. And I have no idea why Plateau United players are in there running and asking for an offside. It was clearly an onside. Well caught decision right there by the referee. There was not even in any shadow of doubt the linesman. It was just running straight to return and start this game. It is 1-0 at the moment.
Plateau United 0, Enyimba 1. Chibuike Nwawu with a goal for Enyimba International Football Club. I mean, it's fascinating today because the first fixture saw the opposing side get the first. Here we are again. The second installment of this doubleheader, and it's Enyimba. It's Nwawu who has found the opener. Yeah, that'll be a free kick. Also could be a touch with a yellow card. Yeah, he's apologising, but it's a yellow card to him. He certainly cannot complain for Abdullahi.
Needless. Very needless yellow card. Very needless yellow card. He wasn't through on goal. He had many players right behind him that could still stop him in his track. He even had more grounds to recover that ball. You know, but it was a needless yellow card. If you are the holding midfielder in your team, you are the shield of your defense. It is important that you do not make them panic. He's on the yellow card now. He's got 70 odd minutes to still play this game. If he ends that game that way, he will be careful now. And Plateau United are skilled players. They've got skilled players that can attack him and understand that he's now a loophole. And Fidelis Elechuku is a very smart coach. He will tell them, just do well to attack that particular dude, Abubakar, with the yellow card. But maybe this is what this game needs now, a goal to spark it right into life that we expect it to be. And that's the first clear-cut chance. I wouldn't even call it a clear-cut chance, but it was the first shot on target for the two teams. And my oh my, did Nwawu delivered that particular goal quite well. And maybe this would calm the nerves of Finidi George, who really seemed to be, you know, quite a very flustered character at the touchline. I have no idea why. Maybe he's demanding more from his team. That's good to see. Maybe he's just under pressure. And you did mention rightfully earlier, Emmanuel, that in the last games we've seen in this particular field for Plateau United, they've allowed the other team to get ahead first. I have news for you. If Enyimba scores one more goal, it will be more than a mountain to climb for them, because sometimes the courage that you have, in a way, can be undoubted in a game of football, judging by the quality of team you're facing. No disrespect to 3SC, but the level of being there, done that, the level of experience, it doesn't compare to that of Enyimba. They will steal this game, and Fidelis Elechuku has got to be wary of that. He needs to get his team back in this particular game.
Itodo's true. He's always trundling. Oh! Almost a bullet header. What an equaliser that could have been for Plateau United. If you thought this game was over, think again. It's just the start of a classic. 13 matches they've played against each other. United with 5 victories, Enyimba 6. 2 of those ending in draws.
Itodo is a threat. He's a big, big threat all day, every day, from anywhere. They know it. The defenders know it. The attackers for Plateau United know it. So they're always waiting to win that first ball. Because once Itodo launches, you got to win that first ball. And Enyimba's got to be wary. The likes of Pascal at the back line has got to do better. They need to probably just understand that every time they need to anticipate the ball. The likes of Okechukwu, Obot, Asuko, the back line, the entire back line has really got to do better in tackling Itodo.
Welfare officer.
United. Eze taking no prisoners. (2017) they won the Nigerian Professional Football League, then as it was called, for the very first time, led by coach Kennedy Baboye. I mean, he's a man with such a appealing record, Kennedy, because he led Plateau United to the title, and seasons later he was in Akwa Ibom State and he led Akwa United to the Premier League title.
He's got an identity. He's obviously gotten an identity. He's gotten that wherewithal to be that coach, to be the man. I mean, I've spoken to him a couple of times. He sounds like a man who lives for the game of football. Kennedy Baboye.
Good piece of passing. Obot, we've seen a cross while it's a solid defensive interception. It doesn't look good for the captain, Daniel Itodo, who's down under turf. Not sure he clattered on with the Enyimba captain Abubakar.
And that right there is the ability of Imo to just whip it in. And he is shown into time and time again of how very, very significant his left foot can be. I said it earlier. He's exploiting Akwa United, he's exploiting Enyimba, especially in the CAF Champions League, the years of experience. He's quite young, and the years of experience he's been able to accrue over years down that left flank is amazing. And under a coach, that specializes in hugging the touchline in his own playing days, I expect him to even hone that skill and be more. And speaking of expectation, it's too early to say, but I'm not particularly happy with what I've seen so far by Nzediego Nonso, jersey number 7 for Enyimba. I expect him to consistent, and if that right there is how Itodo got injured, you can see, well, it was something with his knee. It was not with the challenge of Abubakar. I think there was a little bit something in his knee when he was approaching that ball, when he was running towards the ball. It could be a landing thing. It could be something in his knee, and the medical team are currently working on him at the moment.
Corner to come for Enyimba. It's a Kani Elijah to take for the People's Elephants. Elijah, goalkeeper, just, so bicycle unsuccessful. Always returns the favour. Elijah just waiting on hopeful balls. Sukifelu. Well done. The pass that is good from Enyimba. That's even better defending from Christopher Nweze. Well, he was far off the action points. That credit will go to Ifeanyi Emmanuel.
And that's what Plateau United doesn't want. They don't want Enyimba to settle in on the ball, to get into their own. Because once they start allowing players like Akoni Elijah dictate the pace of the play, He's going to do that to you all day. He's going to get at you. He's not going to let. He treats the ball like a friend. He lends it to you. He wants it back immediately. And when you allow players like that start to dictate, start to feel the game, start to get into the rhythm, and that right there will be a big, big problem for you. I like what Fidelis Ilechukwu has done with this team. He's giving them an identity to play. When they are under pressure, they don't tend to just lose the ball. They like to play out of their ways, out of trouble, leading to counter-attacking situations. And they've done that a couple of times in this game. But unfortunately, you may need to probably just tweak something. It's too early to say, but there may be a need to just tweak something into the next phase of this game as we approach the 35th minutes. It's the last 10 minutes. What do you want to get from this game? Enyimba will be very comfortable with a maximum full value in the first half. It will give them that bedrock of conversations going forward.
Oh, that's the comfort. The equalizer has come. That's Ifeanyi Emmanuel, a central defender who cannot stop scoring. His third in the Premier League in 3 games. There's always that threat. A brace against shooting stars at this arena. He knows this opposition is entirely different, one with reputation, but he's the man in form. They found a way back at the right time. A big man from the central defense position.
And look at that for a pinpoint cross. And I said something earlier. I keep saying it about the second ball, Emmanuel. It's all about the second ball. We've said it time and time again in this particular fixture. Enyimba have been flat-footed in defending set spaces. They've been allowing Plateau United, especially when you have a man who is in honey form at the moment, is very, very profound at the moment.
Plateau United 1, Enyimba International 1.
I said it earlier. It's 35th minutes into the game. What do you want to get from this particular first half? And Fidelis Ilechukwu, as maybe he was listening to us, he just immediately answered us with that particular goal from his defender. We've seen 2 great headers, but I think Enyimba should have done better with that particular ball. He really should have done better. I expected the defender to, especially a big man like Pascal. He was caught flat-footed, and you've allowed Plateau United a way back into this game. And I said it earlier that this game is going to be giving us goals. We're going to be seeing a lot of beautiful goals in this particular game, and we've seen 2. I say more to come.
Yeah, bit of physicality between the other players. Nweze also fully involved. When it's getting pretty feisty. Let me play down on the turf, requiring attention. Free kick for Enyimba. Well defended. Obot. Successfully kept in play by Hasokwa. Winewood, the man who got the first goal in this game. So much presence up front for the People's Elephant. Somehow just lost his footing. This could be concerned though. Well, I almost dropped a clanger. Certainly would require some level of attention. Izuchukwu Chimezie.
Bad landing. Almost similar to what we saw with Itodo earlier. He needs to watch this and watch this carefully. He just pulled. I think he's clutching us to his thighs. Maybe that could be another hamstring problem. We saw one earlier. It's not what Fidelis Ilechukwu wants. We've seen one hamstring injury already in this game from Mboma, from Enyimba. I'm sure Chimeze will do his best possible to remain in this game and giving his all. As the goal scorer, Chibuike is getting words from the assistant coach at that time. We're not certain what could become of Chimeze. He seemed to be working just fine. Maybe it's something he can still shake off. But my oh my, we really cannot shake off the start of this game. It's been absolutely electric. Even though chances have been clear-cut chances, should I say, have been quite few and far between. But what we've seen so far has been good. It's the showing of if you have a good chance, use it, create it, and make the best of it. And Enyimba and Plateau United has done just that.
Waiwu. Fatai Abdullahi has given away possession. That's pretty uncharacteristic of the midfielder, Imoro Boats. Woohoo! That was an audacious attempt from the Enyimba fullback, Imoro Boats. Got a stunner in the opening fixture here. And this could have been the best, not just this game week, the entire season. It just leaves even the fans a bit dizzy.
Imo is quality. And that right there was another chance for Enyimba to come through. But that was a good power shot by Imo. But that left footer is a thunder. And when he harnesses his energy, he can strike. And the goalkeeper felt it there. Good goalkeeping, by the way. He rocked everybody in the stadium, including us, all the way from that distance. And we saw, I think, the two teams have really struggled in coping with set pieces, Enyimba more profound, especially due to the prowess of Itodo at the throw-in. And Plateau United as well. And maybe it's something the two teams need to develop going forward, because it's going to be a long season, even though it's an up-reach season. You get to face teams that are very skillful at the act of delivering free kicks. And you've got to be worried, really, for what your team is looking like defensively.
Imo Roberts, free kick for Enyimba. Quite some distance. He doesn't take it. Abdullahi United trying to initiate a breakaway. Just a nudge at the referee close to the crime scene. That was enough challenge. To give the free kick. There'll be a substitution confirmed. It's the fans screaming for. I felt like Shaolin soccer for a second. Elijah Akani just guilty of tackle right on the Achilles of the opposition. Chapi Kato just almost going into that challenge. Coach Fernando George has got quite a lot to say, I'm certain, in the dressing room. Free kick whipped to the back post. Oh, this time it's partially well defended, because it's a corner to Plateau United. Always dangerous when a southpaw stands behind it. At least they can heave a sigh of relief. Enyimba have been on the back foot in the last 120 seconds.
Very, very true. And maybe that's why Finidi George just can't contain himself, you know, at that particular touchline. But I mean, moving on to what has been happening on the football pitch so far, Enyimba really are struggling to create chances now, haven't they? I'm expecting a lot of Akoni Elijah, and I also mentioned my early disappointment. Maybe it will still come good in this game, maybe. I think Nonso should be doing better. I'm expecting more of Abdullah as well to just keep coming at it, even as we got one more minute to enjoy. It's an additional time of this game so far. It's been brilliant. I mean, if you're a neutral, you're really excited, you know, to see that you've got goals in the first half, 2 goals, 1 apiece at each side of the exchange. But it could have been more. It could have been more if we had some better level of creativity. I'm sure a man that is really looking forward to the second half conversations has got to be Finidi George. It's got a lot to say, really. The referee says carry on with this.
So getting quite windy. Yeah, it's been quite dramatic on the touchline. Coach Fidelis Ilachuku is still complaining. Yeah, I think he just wants this half completed. A half-time whistle from the Jos Stadium here in the Plateau. A 4 p.m. kickoff, the fixture talked about for days. Hawaii with the man who got the very first goal, Chibuike. In the 25th minute, it was a brilliant header. Looks quite exhausted, Hans Akimbo do, but I mean, he's a man who's performed excellently. And Plateau United, with so much confidence, found a way to pull one back. In the 36 minutes, Emmanuel just ensuring that they will go into the break, not on the back foot. Half time from the New Jos Stadium. It's Plateau United 1, Enyimba International 1.
aikin sai an tashi. Aikin don kuwasa. Auka. Ka gyara mai. Ka gyara mai. Auka. Sannan ka gyara mai da Allah. Ka kudi. Allah ka gyara mai. Kana kankaciya. Auka. Khalifa. Dan hutun kuwasa. Khalifa zo ka gyara mai da Allah. Kale shi. Zo harbi da ta fara. Shi mara. Ina da ne su.
Yeah, so unbelievable.
You know I'm booking that one now. On all advice you can come and fling it. See? They said I should remove it and they will fling it.
Stadium fixture between Plateau United and Enyimba International Football Club, champions in their own right. After the first 45, it's one apiece, well taken goals. Ifai Emmanuel and Waiwu, who got the first. It was a top-in header and it was well complimented. A bit of a scuffle just before the players went into the dugouts, but pace has been restored as we await the start of the second half. Second 45 on the way here at the New George Stadium. It's a fixture involving teams who, by pedigree, understand that the Super Six is without contemplation. Plateau United 1, Enyimba International 1. Jide still with me on commentaries. Expectations for the second 45, Jide?
Go for it. I'm sure the two managers would have told themselves that, hey, this is still there. It's 45 minutes of football. Is it a make or break? It's that simple. It's an abridged league and every point counts. There is no time or at a point in this season where you get to lick your wounds. You go again. There are midweek games. It's not about this one, it's about the next one. But again, you want to do well in this one. And Finidi George was clearly, I hope with all his agitations and his flustered nature in the first half, I hope the performances of Enyimba can justify in the second half that level of gesticulations he made. Fidelis Lechukwu as well was also agitated on the touchline. The two, because they know the importance of this game. You know, apart from the 3 points, it's the bragging right. And any team that tends to play Enyimba tends to bring their A game every time. You know, it's either that or nothing else. You know, it's amazing to see, you know, that the quality of this game has really been up there. Yes, maybe not clear-cut chances, but there's a room for brilliance, individual brilliance. And the two teams have got some great players in their ranks. You know, if Zulkifil get the right opportunity, he can put the ball at the back of the net. Akoni Elijah needs to step up. Moments like this, games like this, phase in games like this is what he's created for, is what he's made for. To step up to that spotlight. And of course, this man has been a big problem. I'm talking about Itodo. It's good to see him back on his feet. He had a bit of an injury scare in the first half. Fidelis Lechukwu, he has built a game around this guy, obviously. And you don't want one of your game plans to be thrown out of the window. So yes, I look forward to what will be a very juicy, something that all the fans here can lap on for the first 45 minutes.
Free kick for Plateau United. Buoyed by the Voice of Pharaoh support here. But just before that will be taken, the player has to get his bomb off the turf. One nation, one game, one goal. There's quite some physicality in this fixture. It's at every dead ball has contention. There's a chance for a second for Plateau United.
If there's anything the first 45 minutes taught us and taught Fidelis Lechukwu, you know that, and teams are watching this because it's live right on TV, they know Enyimba is susceptible and very prone to bad defending at set-piece situation. Olorunleke Ojo as a goalkeeper needs to be assured. It's not his fault that he's not getting that covering. He needs to probably command that area better. And speaking of command, we saw the command of Jean Fala in the first half, you know, in the first game that we saw earlier. You know, but we've not seen the same from Enyimba. They look very easy to crack, very fragile at the back, especially in a free kick situation. And Plateau United has got some very intelligent players. They know they can just easily get free kicks in some very juicy positions, and it could be leading to the second goal, you know, for the team Enyimba, the team Plateau United against Enyimba.
Imarobot, Wanwu, Akani Elijah. It's all about pace for him, but just the strength from Itodo, complemented by Christopher Mweze. But it's a Jani heavy across. Just too excited to get that ball into the penalty box.
That's shameful. That's total waste by Akani Elijah. You know he's that player that has got great potential. You see it in him, but he just needs to unlock it and do more often on the ball with it. He got into a great position and he got two Enyimba attackers right in the middle of the box, putting a decent cross, low or high, get somebody on the end of that ball and you could be celebrating your second goal. But he shamefully wasted the opportunity. Wasted rather.
Akani. It looks quite in an offside position, but the referee's flag stayed down. No support. Oh, there still could be that chance. Oh, it's more hits! And an unorthodox save from Ojo Olorunleke to keep out. A Plateau United man. Ball saved there from Ojo Olorunleke.
Kazim just had to turn. He knew that if we can get that right on the turn, he could trouble the goalkeeper. And Ojo Olorunleke just really didn't want a particular issue with that. And he just saved and, considered the corner. In a very good position for Plateau United. Poor, very poor delivery.
You might get your moment under the sun. No room to counter-attack. But they've got to try to be flexible and direct with your play. Hakani Elijah could be dangerous from such a position. Oh, the flag goes up for offside. Caught a frustrating figure. And coach Finidi George. Man who was born in Pawtucket, had quite an impressive footballing career. That's what these players on the pitch are trying to emulate and some surpass.
On the front foot, they've got their tails up now. Even though they still 1-1, they have a feeling they can get something from this game. Maybe the coach would have spoken to them about picking your moment. Pick your moments. Try to create the best of every opportunity. And we saw Kazim earlier trying to take a shot. He took a shot, but Ojo Olorunleke is saving it quite well. It's a game that has been very cagey, to be honest. The chances have been few and far in between. And that right there is not the chance I was talking about, really. Another disgraceful attempt at goal. Oh, what a shame. He really caught that ball wrongly. He had quite an interesting first half, the referee, calling that goal for Enyimba, which for me is I still stand on what I said. I think that's a goal goal. But unfortunately, Plateau fans would differ. But it's been what this game of this magnitude can be, Emmanuel team. It's been cagey. It's been very, very cagey. The two coaches have shown their tactical strength and depth. And that's why they earn so much bucks, from their mega clubs, from Plateau United and the Enyimba Football Club. But I have a very strong feeling we're still going to see goal in this particular game.
Well, they've been on the back foot since the commencement of the second. Excellent interception. Seeking to get that second. Well, it's well hit, but he's got quality. Ojo Olorunleke takes something even more direct to trouble the goalkeeper of his quality. Good run for Makani. The turn is even majestic. A pursuit for a second. Oh, he put himself in a good position to hit that one. There's always that appeal for fair play. Qatar Abdullahi. Let's make that switch from Warriors down to the Elephant Park. There seemed to have been an off-the-ball incident. The referee will have to attend to that. The Plateau United central defender. Down under tough. Just a man who's caught a frustrated looks into Nonso Nzadego. Had quite some running in this fixture, but has been replaced by Awazie. I'm not sure why you're giving me the look of lack of impression on his performance in this game, but for all the Enyimba players, we did see him quite a lot on the pitch, so some running he completed. That's why they've got the statistics today of distance covered and the likes, because some players might not get a chance to get a goal, but they're pretty much everywhere like the wind. Even as we celebrate his performance on the pitch, a bit of concern for the Plateau United man who has to be stretched off. No one likes to see their performance caught shots in such a manner. Oh, so that's a Todo.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we saw him clutch his hamstring earlier in the first half.
It was surprising to see him carrying playing in the second.
Indeed. Maybe you have stretched it again, and then he just had to come off. You know, sometimes these players show a lot of guts, a lot of heart.
It's the captain of the side.
Yeah, he wants to lead from the front, but unfortunately, the body is a different mechanism entirely. You said something about Nonso earlier.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
you didn't seem quite impressed.
I wasn't. It was a very disappointing performance by the jersey number 7. He will be looking at that performance. He needs to take a look at himself in the mirror and be thinking, what did I just do and put out there? He could have done better. He could have done way better. It was a game that could probably just remind everyone of how good he was, but he chose the wrong day to have a bad day. I'm not blaming him outrightly, but I think we didn't see him come to the party. We're expecting that level of camaraderie between him and Imobot down the left, but we didn't see it. Maybe because of the industry of Yakub Mohammed as well for Plateau United.
That's the new man on the pitch, Awazie. It's approaching the hour mark in this fixture. 59 minutes in. Well, that's quite the intention from Mustafa Ibrahim. You just sense that the next goal could define this fixture, Jide.
I agree. Enyimba will be cursing their luck that they didn't keep their lead for long enough. They allowed Plateau United sneak back into the game. And ever since then, I mean, on the balance of play, you would say Plateau United has got it a little bit on the lockdown. They've got the control key of this game, even though Enyimba has been struggling to string passes together. This man has seen a lot of the ball. His swashbuckling feet, especially this man, Imobot, he's been stifled. We've not really seen, that right there was not well thought of, I must say. We've seen Imobot, we've seen glimpses of some of the things he could possibly do, the things he can bring to the fore. He just needs to do that more. But again, it's been disappointing performance by some of the biggest players up until now for Enyimba. You have a feeling as Fidelity Lechukwu is ringing the changes now. He's lost his captain and it's time to just freshen up the new leg. We saw this man Kazim earlier. He was fantastic. I had a couple of chances in the game, but really couldn't make it up. But this game is right there. I'm excited to see jersey number 30 of ours here. He's a remarkable footballer. I think he was with Atlant at some point, and he's here. He has crossed town to Enyimba, neighboring team. And Awazie is a special gifted footballer. I mean, I see him playing Atlant. He was a darling of the Nazi Millionaires. I wonder where the Millionaires are these days, but he's one of their shining light, and he's here in Enyimba. And if this game needs a spark, and he looks and feels like he's that kind of player.
Yeah, not a far switch from him, if you consider the fact that Abba was carved out from Ode Imo State, free kick, Elijah. I almost called him Elijah Akoni, but Akoni Elijah.
No, that's the Akoni Elijah we know.
Yeah.
That's the Akoni Elijah we know. Look at it. Swivel, just running rings
It's hard
around
to
the
play against
midfielders.
him.
It is hard to play. When he's in his form, he's mercurial. It's very important to his setup. He can easily build a team around a player like that and go to sleep that Akoni Elijah would deliver. But here's the thing with him. You do not know which Akoni Elijah will show up. And right now, we are not seeing the Akoni Elijah that we know, because a game like this, he should step up to the plate. I'm expecting a lot from him because he's a big, big player.
7 goals he scored last season for Enyimba. Obioma Chukwuemeka, the man with the number 9 shots, could be teased up for the set piece. He also could be Fatai Abdullahi. It's Fatai who takes it, doesn't go past the wall. Oh, that's disappointing if you consider the quality he possesses. Fatai Abdullahi, one of the best midfielders in the elite division, and one of the more terrifying attackers, Mustafa Ibrahim Yuga, as they call him. But he's been pretty quiet in this game. The Plateau United number 20. It's a man filled with experience, had his stints outside of Nigeria at a point. Whenever he gets the chance to return, he returns and comes home to play for Plateau United. Enyimba, Trojan. It's all about the fence. God, that's pretty risky. And the body check from the Enyimba player. There was lots of intensity in the first half. It simmered down with the second. They're still on. And well defended for Trojan Plateau United. Now the referee would have to pay attention to the Enyimba player who went down after that initial challenge. His presence is beginning to be felt, Albert Hilary. As before that throw will be taken by Kazim Uguleye. At a point you'd feel trepidation if you're an Enyimba fan if Plateau United have a throw, but the second Itodo got taken off, he sent a respite.
Yeah, Enyimba will calm their nerves now, but I mean, this lad has not really done badly now, has he? Maybe a good deputy for Itodo. And that just tells you that it's his skill that they are training. It's from the training pitch. Maybe Itodo is maybe like a mentor to that young man right there. But we are getting to that phase of the game where legs are becoming more tired, minds are becoming more weary. It's now time to see who got the level of better concentration, to see who would eventually come good, with the maximum value in a game like this. Enyimba has a player down, and they will really be crossed if that ball had gone in, because the player was down even before they got into that particular scoring position, Plateau United. It's anybody's game, really. That's what it looked like. Any team can win this now. The Plateau, the home team, or Enyimba, the away team, at the right chance. And we've seen some forced substitution. Both teams have lost some quality players that may have maybe just changed the game agenda for some of this, for some of the managers. Enyimba losing Mboma in the first half. And also Plateau United losing Itodo because he got injured in the first half. So some of the highlights of those performances could have been better if he had not gotten injured. And this is the man who whipped in a very perfect cross, Uwana. It's currently clutching his injury. It's been quite that game, Emmanuel. You really don't know where the spark is going to come from. It's a game that has begged for a spark from the blast of the whistle. You see the two teams, you see quality. But what you haven't seen so far is those quality on paper translating to quality performance on the pitch. We can make a box office from Finidi George's gesticulation really on the sidelines at this moment.
His score hasn't altered. Plateau United 1, Enyimba International 1. Some level of challenge in the middle of the pack. Austin Okpara. Try to be fully involved, but Chukwemeka Obioma, who will help Enyimba out, just trying to scrape the bottom pots. The side who rose to prominence in the 2000s, they are without doubt the most successful Nigerian football club in trophies attend. Who celebrates 2 Champions League triumphs, 8 Nigeria Premier Football League titles, and 4 Federation Cups. If you look for the word success in the Nigerian football dictionary, you find Enyimba. Ibrahim Yuga. He's a man who enjoyed playing against Abia Warriors some seasons back. He's got a couple of goals, home and away, against the town rivals of the People's Elephants. Too heavy a touch. Plateau United will get the throw. A season where every point is crucial. A format ensures that the champion will be decided in a Super 6 competition. In Group A, you've got 3 teams advancing. In Group B, you've got 3 teams also advancing. On paper, fans and followers of the Premier Football League, George, Group A to be that group of death. Teams outside of these 2 currently on parade. You've got 2021 champions Akwa United. There's Bendel Insurance, former champions, Shooting Stars also. There's Remo Stars. Enyimba United also there. Just some happy sight and sounds. Behind the scenes, you forgive my cackles.
It's beautiful, really, because one of the gains of doing a live game is that you get to see a lot of things, and when you're right there in the middle of the crowd, it's always nice, to enjoy that sight and sound, especially with this band. They've been there, upbeats from the get-go, from the blast of the whistle.
That's why they're a supporters club, Chide.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you expected anything less.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I'll probably just be tired and bored by the fact that I expected so much on my own team, but they're not giving me enough. I could probably just stop trumpeting, but not these guys. They are not me. Definitely. I'll probably just do something else, maybe press my phone for a bit. But they've shown that level of supportership, and that's why they're a proud supporters club of Plateau United. And that's why I'm a commentator.
Yeah, Chappie Jude Kato to take for United. Sent on deep in the penalty area. Always quite a physical presence for the Elephants. Oh, chance could come! Oh, he was well positioned, like quite the Enyimba defender, to just got short what could have been a second for Plateau United. He's put himself in harm's way. Looks like he's hurt himself also in the process, just trying to prevent that second goal. The power behind it. Well, from a chance, Enyimba could try to attack. Oh, that's brilliantly done. He's gone past his marker with relative ease. That's what you call beautiful nonsense. That's a towering collision from the Enyimba player. And for a second, they're hat and mouth because the player looked completely silent. But hey, there's a strong lad.
Indeed, he's back on his feet.
Just needed to catch his breath, I think.
Yeah, it's a very tough game, and this tackles can be feisty at times and can be fierce too. So you have to be sure that you're ready up for it. I was there really showing us a glimpse of what he was able to do for Enyimba. Not Atland earlier. I did mention Atland, but he actually played this.
Still an Eastern team. You're
football.
forgiven.
Yeah. That's actually a clash of heads. So many situations on players.
Quite a number of stoppages. It's taking the sting out of this fixture. Oh, that's a decision I'm not certain I could have expected to happen. The player is down, but the Enyimba goalkeeper decides to initiate an attack. Yeah, the flag goes up for offside against a man with the presence of Awazie. Just a glimpse of the turnout. It's pretty impressive.
Indeed, indeed. A lot of people. I mean, a lot of people have been here. You know, even since the National United game earlier. You know, they just had to be here to get the best seats in the house to watch their darling Plateau United play, and that right there just shows you the level of followership of Nigerian football. You know, it's always a very funny conversation when people say, "Oh, people don't watch the Nigerian Premier League." I'm like, "No, you don't watch Nigerian Premier League." We got tons of fans. You know, boisterous, vociferous, sometimes excited as well at the quality of football that they've seen so far. And you know, we get to see it a lot of times. You know, in places around different match centers, from Enyimba International Stadium to the Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano, to the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium in Bauchi, to the different stadiums, you know, across match grounds, you know, not forgetting the home of Atlanta International. Everywhere you go, there's this huge following that the Nigerian football has been able to attract. Speaking of attract, it's lovely to see the quality of corporate Nigeria, the attraction that corporate Nigeria has also been able to invest, you know, in the league.
Let's go. That second goal! It was easier to miss. Maybe not. Easier to score than miss. And he knows it. The fans could have expected even more happiness. That was a chance today.
A golden one. He will be kicking. If this game ends this way, I doubt how he's going to sleep well at night. Because he will be thinking to himself, I could have a chance to write my name in bold. The newspaper headlines in Jos will have his name written in bold. He would have delivered what would be the killer punch, the sucker punch to this not so very, very interesting to watch Enyimba. But no, he actually fluffed his chance and fluffed his line. He hit that ball with little or no conviction. He was not even interested in hitting it. There was no determination. There was no effort. He was effortless in that particular, and I mean that by every sense of the word. He put no effort in that, and it was terrible to see. A good quality chance. It could have been your 2-1 advantage. Plateau, 15 minutes to end the game, but you chose to do that. That's bad finishing.
For the opt-in time, an Enyimba player goes down on the turf. Oh, it's not one of the players who went down on the turf for Enyimba. A fullback, Imoro Boots. That's quite the talent for the Kada Football Club, Imo. And they've got a corner to defend. Finidi's complaining. And it's got out of touch. And again, GD, this looks like WrestleMania. So much bodies on the turf.
Like they say in WWE, let the body hit the brooks. Yes, indeed, it's been tough. And I think it's a making of a very tough game, isn't it? Hard tackles here and there, clash of heads, and that right there was actually two Plateau United players coming at it, lack of communication, and then there are spoils of war as well, as Abdullahi was caught in the mix of that. It's a game that I've seen a lot of hits and tackles and challenges, but not so much of glimpse of brilliance individually. Even as a team, some of the teams, especially Enyimba, have been slow to get going. It's been difficult for them to string a couple of passes together. You know, they've relied on few or little scraps, you know, coming from here and there. They are yet to design a certain play.
75 minutes in. Plateau United 1, Enyimba International 1. Safe hands, Joe Olarileke.
He really hasn't had much to do. The referee again calling that one and saying it's It's a foul, and it's 15 minutes, I mean, just like you rightfully mentioned, to the end of the game. At this point, the two teams, the leaders of the two teams would have communicated the thoughts of the coach. Now it's almost time for us guys to just implement the last phase.
We'll continue to push. Oh, that's well done, but looks pretty heavy, even for the presence of Akani Elijah. Well, it's surprising to see him inches away from his former manager, Fidele Silichuku. Goalkeeper territory. Chris Wednesday. Oh. Elijah has a mount that can move mountains. Oh, 2 balls on the pitch, sorted. It's good to see the expertise of the ball boys. You always give them credit. Oh, it's a brilliant first touch, but the track back even better from the Plateau United man. And just thus the academic style of play. If you don't find room, just try to hit the sheen and get yourself a throw in. There's always that hope and consideration. And you just sense the lack of communication between the central defender and Joe Lauren Leke. And they're having that talk now because it could have cost them the chance, but there's more for Plateau United, Ibrahim Mustafa.
You know, Plateau United came into this game thinking if we can get back our very first win of the season against a team like Enyimba, it could just give us that right kick into the season. And we haven't seen them showing enough fight, showing enough I want it more kind of nature. You know, it looks as if they've allowed Enyimba to just enjoy where they are. I mean, they started the second half quite well. I was impressed, but later they just fizzled out just a little bit, leaving the game and allowing Enyimba to come into it. And Enyimba currently, they haven't lost a game so far this season. It's the third game of the season for them, and they've got 2 very good results. They could have won against Aqua United at home, but it's a draw that they would take. But maybe they could actually spring something in this game.
Still a chance. Goalkeeper should make it pretty easy. Well, I'll give him his flowers. Still good to see him at the highest level of professional football, Suraja Ilesho. A man who once upon a time set the record for most clean sheets. The assistant has called for a free kick against Enyimba. Just at the tip of the penalty arc. Well, on replay you could bank that might have hit the chest of the Enyimba players. About to be called upon, just to come 45 and add a bit of freshness to the Enyimba front line. This is a tantalizing position for Plateau United. Was that well, it was off his face, Jide?
Indeed, the ball went off his face and then went onto his arm. But what does the rule say these days? You know, we barely know. But the referee has really been the center of attraction in this particular game. Could be a call that would decide the outcome of this game or not. But I'm sure Enyimba will want to defend this. They've not really done quite well in a free kick position in this game. But at the same time, Plateau has also not really covered themselves in all their glory, you know, in free kick positions. So I do not think, you know, by any stretch of the imagination, Enyimba will want to go to sleep. They've not defended the set piece quite well. And you can see the wall is not the tallest. The wall is not the tallest. And maybe there's something Plateau United must have tried in the training pitch they may want to implement here.
Kazim Mugunlaye, one of the players standing just behind the ball. It looks pretty perfect for a southpaw. Mohamed Zukufilo instructing that you've got to be focused without a charge. Eze gets his moments to possibly distract the wall. This is a glorious position. If it's wall hits, it could best the goalkeeper Ojo. Free kick to come. And it's taken, goes Oh, the emotions from the fans and reaction of the player afterwards. Kazim Mugunlaye just shows that could easily have been the second.
That could have easily been his own second goal as well, if he had taken that particular first shot, but that one was better. I think he hit this with a bit of intent. The execution was a bit decent, but just if at all he had the in-foot coiler more into the ball, just whipping in, Ojoleke was scrambling right there. He was in troubles, you know, and thankfully that body in at the back of the net. We would have seen Enyimba concede 2 goals from set piece, and it would have been a horrific day for Finidi George. I mean, for a coach who during his playing time was, you know, a master of the set piece situation, you know, I think you should really want to pay attention to how to not concede free kicks in his own football team.
So for United, it's flicked on. That's the welcome party for the new man. Chris Nweze held the rock at the back pretty good since the omission of the captain Itodo. A rare sight of Enyimba in the opposition half of the pitch. That's a heavy collision. Referee thought it was fair challenge. They carry on with the action. Good turn. Abdullahi. That's a crossfield pass. Purposeful. Enyimba taking that second. Good call back and always rising. Yeah, this time he just smucks it off. Finidi George. Impressive footballing career. Started off at Udison Rovers, went on to play for Heartland Sharks. And the Ward saw his juniors at Real Betis.
It's paid his dues.
Yeah. Also had the privilege of playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria from 91 to 2002. Joined Enyimba in September 2021, and I remember his first statement was, "I'm here to make the team win." So far, this is 2023. Has yet to win a title.
It's building something. You can see he's trying to have his own imprint on the game, trying to have his own imprint on this team, buying his own players now, putting things in place for his own role. He wants to make Enyimba his own team. He has to have his own identity. But this is not a particular performance where you want to really look back and say, hey, I saw a bit of glimpse of that identity. They've struggled. They struggled real bad, and it's not something they want. They were not so bad in the game, but by their standard, Emmanuel, it's Enyimba. They are a regal team in the NPFL. You expect every game to come with a certain level of delivery.
They'll be hoping for a good delivery into the penalty box. Plateau United. A huge shout. The referee takes the whistle off his mouth. It was a fair call. This time Enyimba's taking a break away. A current score, Plateau United 1, Enyimba International 1. As we approach the embers of this fixture. Frustrating pass. The R's of the fans in the stadium. at a 30,000 capacity. And you just picture it's filled to the brim sometime this season. They haven't really had the sight of Suraj Ayala show in the second half. The Enyimba attackers, the Plateau United goalkeeper has been pretty much on holiday, but this is a big question for Joe Lonleke. Possibly could be called into action. Zukafilu hovering around. Move to the back post. Still in possession, United. Oh, he's come off his line, not the wise decision, and had to just retract his steps. And now they could pay attention to the players down on the turf. That's a man in a white outfit hitting the turf here. It looks like he's in some pain. The physios quick to respond. It's a happy combination. Enyimba and Finidi George. They amplify youthfulness and what modern day coaching looks like in the country.
I just hope he comes with a little bit less gesticulations on the touchline, really. But I mean, we've seen both of them trying to push and just trying to make sure that, you know, the best things are done for this particular football club. And you also have a feeling that it's the season for Finidi George, especially with an abridged league. It could mean a lot of things to him. And this point would actually come in good. You know, he would take this point, definitely. Knowing fully what I see, they were not so dominant, they were not so special. They can do way more, they can do way better from what we've seen today. But what they've shown as well is that they've got grit, is that they can hold their own, they can ruffle the feathers of other teams, you know, especially even at their own homes. Because in a way or another, this is a loss in a way to Plateau United. They would feel the fans are not looking quite happy. They know that it's their third game. Judging by how they started last season, they already bagged, I think, a win or two already at this stage of the season. I can't really remember, but Finidi George knows that this season is, I won't say it's the definitive season in his career as an Enyimba coach, but it would be nice to see the quality of what they can do. This man has really had quite a busier day than, you know, Suraj Ayala, whose wife is actually in the stands, by the way.
Oh no, he's a proper individual.
He's a proper family man.
Yeah, I had the opportunity of speaking to him extensively, touched on all facets of his career. I'll get to it in a bit. He might be called into action. It's a good callback! And from 7 yards out, he spurns the chance. Chukwuemeka Obioma. This time the heart is bitter. Nothing to excite the Enyimba fans watching across the globe. That could have been it.
This is a goal. You are number 9 in a position like this. 88 minutes, you should be scoring this. It's that simple. Under no pressure. If you couldn't score, make a pass. That should have been the goal, Emmanuel.
For a player who's been really threatening in front of goal, that's something he wouldn't be excited about. 7 goals last season, the last coming against Niger Tornadoes. Free kick quickly taken. Well intercepted. First fixture today for those who missed out on the early coverage. It was a walk in the park for Plateau United. 3-0 winners against Nasarawa United, who have adopted the new Jos Stadium as home, pending the completion of renovations at the Lafayette Township Stadium. It's a venue we've touched on.
Yes.
I remember that classic contest between Nasarawa United against now relegated Warriors. Well, it's 5 minutes of additional time, Jide.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So many things can happen in this particular game at this time. It's crunch time now. Anything can happen. Maybe a goal now. It's a corner kick, and we know how very, very disturbing they've been so far in free kick positions and set piece position early. If any team concedes a goal now, it's game, set, and match. And right there, the goalkeeper
The defender.
and the defender is currently.
I'm surprised Enyimba isn't down on the turf too.
Of Finidi George.
That's good.
Anyone and everyone has been on the turf here, today. It's been that kind of game. Of course, some of this, a lot of it actually delay tactics to just unsettle the opposition, to just make them feel very uncomfortable. But what we've seen so far is that these two teams know the importance of this abridged league. This level of determination, this level of grit, sometimes it's not pretty.
Yeah.
We got to understand that sometimes these two coaches, take nothing away from them, are very progressive coaches. They will not come and then defend and just throw. Some of the fans are currently making their exits, maybe disappointed at what Plateau United has put on show today.
I'm not certain it should be disappointment. The opposition is mightier than the host team by virtue of reputation and trophies won.
True.
But again,
sometimes fans just have a way of demanding, a lot from their players regardless. And that right there was your opposition's opportunity to get a goal against Enyimba, but not to be.
I mean, it's tricky, and again, you could sense the frustration. You look at the match calendar. The next team for Plateau United, former champions Aqua United. The national champions is a hard place to go. Enyimba on paper look favourites against Aqua United. So you reckon that if Plateau don't pick a point here, they could lose the New Year. But football isn't played that way. We've seen teams pick up a point away from home. Who says they cannot win this in stoppage time? The corner will be taken. It looks routine from the training ground. It's whipped in, and it's defended, not too convincing. This time it will be that throw. Leaving nothing to chance.
Now this is it. You can see they are backing at each other now. They need to let that level of concentration be heightened.
Yeah.
This is the moment. If this throw is well connected,
Imuro boat, but the goalkeeper looks like he's come off his line, and that acrobatic, certainly no contact. The fans trying to instigate, and that should be a free kick. The referee will call it. Not. And going past everyone as they approach right into stoppage. That goalkeeper off his line. And that header almost benefiting the Plateau United forward. Joe Loreleke will take eternity to get up now, because he would sense that this is the perfect time to just take deeper breath.
it needs it. It needs it. It's been a barrage of attack by Plateau United towards the end of this game, and they've been quite good. They've been pressing. They've shown that they wanted it more towards the last embers of the game, 15 minutes thereabouts. They've been pressing. It's been consistent. It's been good. I like the fact that I'm looking at a team who really genuinely wants to win the game. But unfortunately they are meeting again, like you said, Enyimba, who are used to this particular position. It is time for the calmer edge to prevail. The leaders of this team, to step up to the plate. Akoni Elijah really hasn't led from the front in this game, but it's something that they would enjoy. It could have even been an Enyimba opportunity if they had nicked a particular pass earlier, but not to be. Plateau United know for a fact that it is now time for them to start picking points. Enyimba will take this and they'll be very, very delighted. It's not been the best, it's not been pretty, but Fidelis Ilechukwu will think to himself that he needs to start the game on the forefront, on the front foot. It's very important. He needs to be at the forefront of everything now. The last game he played, he came back from a 3-0 deficit to equalize and then make level that game. Now, maybe he got lucky or maybe it's a game plan, but against Enyimba, it worked. You can't keep coming from behind. It's an abridged season. Every game, every move matter. It's absolutely crucial.
So, 5 added. By virtue of counting, the 5 minutes has been exhausted. But it's the prerogative of the match official to decide when to call this. This looks like the final throw of the dice. Managers require optimum concentration from the defenders, while some would hope that fortune will smile on the attackers. Goalkeeper off his line. Whoa! He hasn't timed it perfectly. Joe Loreleke.
He had no business. If you're going coming out at 95 minutes, you can see that his coach actually livid. If you're going to come out at 95 minutes, it is absolutely important that you get the ball.
Well, the fans might have celebrated him while he adorned the green and white of Nigeria, but they see him as an opposition.
Indeed. Indeed. You're an enemy now.
Of the state? It's
Yeah,
allowed to say that.
literally. Enemy of the state. Number one. They don't want to give him anything, even though they give everything.
Past the 5 added. Plateau United could get that winner. It looks like it might come for them. There's going to be no chance! Oh! Right into stoppage time! These boys have opened pandemonium! And it's a red card to Waze. It's gone past the required minutes added. But Plateau United will celebrate. These 3 points will be theirs. The People's Elephant will journey back to a bar with no points and the man shots. Incredible.
This is why we love football. This is why we love this game. This is why this game is so loved across the world. Moments of magic, moments of individual brilliance. The game begged for it all through the game. All 96 minutes of this game played. It was lackluster, it was bland, it was dull. But comment the man, comment the hour. Maybe the last kick of the game is the most significant and important of this game. The players of Enyimba are absolutely livid and questioning the referee because it was beyond 95 minutes. But maybe there was a little bit of stoppages in there and the referee allowed it. But this man is absolutely on cloud 9. Fidelis Ilechukwu has masterfully created something beautiful of this particular game. What a game, Emmanuel Etim.
Just in hindsight again, there was nothing wrong with the goal. But the protestation is that the 5 minutes added had been exhausted. That was a well-worked goal from Plateau United. And as I mentioned, red card to Eze. The referee wouldn't care. Until the goalkeeper goes back, he cannot have the game return. Quiet evening for the People's Elephants. They're still protested.
It's a test of mental resilience now. It's a test of psychology. The players need to keep a calm head now. One player already sent off. The referee could decide to maybe just turn this into a red spree. We wouldn't like to see that. But these fans don't care. These fans are absolutely in cloud 11. They've been absolutely on top of their voices all day. And it's something to cheer as they go home to the streets of Plateau, to the streets of the Sanke Road. The different parts of the town will be absolutely agog with this very, very lovely, lovely performance by their team. It was not pretty from the two teams, but sometimes football can be that way. I say Plateau United are trying to speak and trying to get Enyimba to get back into the groove, but there is no groove for Enyimba. They fought like Trojans. They were big on the game like elephants like they are. But the referee has been right there in the center of this game from the get-go. And maybe Enyimba are really, really spited at the fact that it was beyond. They have every right to complain. And they are refusing to come back to the pitch. And they're trying to speak to their technical bench now.
Well, it's just the current score confirmation. It's not full-time yet. The final whistle hasn't gone. But one thing is certain, Jide, this fixture will be completed.
Indeed, it will be completed. Maybe another red card. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but the first red card was to Eze. So if this is a follow-up that wasn't captured, have to get clarification.
It's okay to be bitter, but we've seen this happen time and time again in football at the extra minute.
Well, it looks like it was 2 players from Enyimba who got shown a red card, and now you've got an Enyimba player taking the glove of Ololeke Ojo, trying to man the post. So it's two men down.
It's 2 men down Enyimba, and it's okay. They're not absolutely No one would be. And if you're a footballer, Emmanuel Etim, you've toiled in a game that you know that you could have probably just gotten more and then you gotten less in this way, in this manner. But they need to keep that professional calm now. The referee brandishing cards, you know, like it's the color of a shirt. You know, it's done 2 red, it's done a yellow now. The players need to keep a cool head. It's going to be difficult. It's a test of professionalism right now. It's a test of putting their heads together. It's a test of what this club is known for. They will go again, but it is how they lost this game. Because, commendably, Plateau United has come back again, like we said. But this time around, they didn't just equalize, they've won the game. And of course, this man, the expression of Finidi George says a lot. The expression of Finidi George says is a man that has been absolutely been that 12th and 13th player for Enyimba. He's been everywhere. You can see the look on his face right now.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, I understand, but the sort of quality,
the game must go on.
The sort of quality and experience Enyimba possess, and how widely revered they are, not just in Nigeria, but also on the African continent. This sort of performance isn't accepted. It's good to vent your frustration, but it's like taking hostage, this fixture. They will have to carry on playing by head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players on the pitch. And the moment they carry on, you reckon the final whistle will go?
Indeed, indeed. And it's been a good watch for us. It's been a very, very good watch. It's been an amazing watch. A referee will blow the whistle anytime from now.
I think we decide to extend for 5 more minutes. I mentioned you cannot give less than the 5 added, but you can consider a few more. And what a drama it would be if Enyimba find an equaliser right in stoppage time. This will be a goal kick that might be not taken, might not be taken for hours to come.
This hurts. This really hurts if you're an Enyimba fan, really, and I feel for the players. But again, that's the sport. That's what it's all about. Sometimes this is why we love football. The level of passion and the level of unpredictability that we've seen. A game that was very, very lackluster, sparking to life just at the very end. A brilliant game of football. We love to see this.
A reminder, 5 minutes is added. That's why you never leave a ground until it's full time.
It's crazy to see, really. It's a very, very crazy game of football, isn't it? It's amazing. The kind of we had a head gash right there. Literally, it's been in a game of blood, you know, blood and fire and brimstone. It's an ugly end to what has been a very decent game of football, and a game where the referee has been the huge center of attraction. He's made some very great calls, some very bold calls, you know, to say. I think in a way it's justified, Emmanuel, to say if there were stoppages in between the stoppage time, it's fair enough to add some other time to it. The disgruntlement with the Enyimba players is that it is that stoppage time that he had it that led to the goal, and not the equalizing goal, but the winning goal for Plateau United.
It was well taken. That goal was beyond saving Kazim Ogunleye. There's still more fixtures to come. Enyimba welcome Kwara United in a few days. Plateau travel to the nest of champions to take on Kwara United. And that's the final whistle at the New Jos Stadium. The People's Elephants, a side who came to this arena on the match day 1, picked up maximum points against Nassau United, played host to Kwara United, dropped points at the Elephant Park, Traveled back to Jos, hoping for maximum points. Started really good with the opener of this fixture in the 25th minute. But that was well counted out by Emmanuel, who got his third in the Premier League this season. And right into stoppage time, Kazim Oguleye latching on to a well-taken cutback to ensure for the first time this season the Peace Boys will celebrate maximum points. A result from this well-constructed edifice, not a scoreline. Plateau United 2, Enyimba International 1.
Go down again.
Life.
any change. And once it changes, it does the problem. And then the longest lifetime, I agree, boss. That's a good move. Well done, everybody! It's a fucking rock! Nico.